with the semi-finalists from this season's shootout and former English Open champion, the firecracker, Lian Wenbo! A legend with a record 38 career ranking titles. He's a 6-time champion of the world, the Rocket's Ronnie O'Sullivan!
Well, good to see a lively crowd in this evening, and they've come to see if Ronnie O'Sullivan can reach his 60th world ranking final, or will Lian Wenbo spring what would be regarded as an upset. The head-to-head between them certainly favours O'Sullivan. It's 9-1 in previous meetings. Good friends, these two.
Thank you.
That's all going to be forgotten, though.
The first frame.
It's best of 11, and Fang Zhengji, who's through to his first ranking final, is waiting in Sunday's title match. Ronnie O'Sullivan then gets the semi-final underway. Best of 11. He's played brilliantly at times this week. Last night, in particular, against Tom Ford. Lian Wenbo, we've not really seen much of, but he had a terrific win with a good clearance against Anthony McGill last night, 5-4. We know what a feisty competitor he is. He's going to have to take the game to O'Sullivan. 9-1 to O'Sullivan on the head-to-head. He's the big favourite, but as we've seen, Alan, the favourites this week have not fared too well.
No, they've fallen. They started in round 1 this week, most of them winning, almost all of them, but since then, fallen like dominoes. They have been toppling over, and Lian Wenbo, yeah, he's a big job on his hands tonight to hold on to Ronnie in great form. But a word about Fang Zhengji. Fantastic to see another young player, a new player, appearing in his first final come tomorrow. He's got the nice feeling, I think, tonight of being able to be in the practice room, hit a few shots and keep an eye on the big match. Yeah, good effort that, wasn't it? Good break off by Ronnie. Tremendous effort with a lot of pace. Difficult to even find the jaws of the pocket, but first chance to the favourite.
Yeah, he's looked very relaxed this week, O'Sullivan, but at the same time focused on what he's doing. The one scare he had was in round 2. Zhang Anda took him to a decider, but no one else has got close so far. '87th ranking event, the semi-final. Incredible numbers.
8. No.
Yes, his scoring has been very good all week long. Just looking at the numbers, he's played one match more than Lian, because obviously his match was held over. So he's won 25 frames. He's had 21 breaks over 50, including 7 centuries. But Lian, on the other hand, having won a match less, 20 frames in total, he's had 15 breaks over 50. So the one commodity that obviously at this level you have to come in with is the scoring, and Lian Wenbo has that. So he's not without a reasonable chance, you would think, this evening.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned 9-1, which it is on the head-to-head, but 4 of them went to deciders, including the last meeting at the Scottish Open,
23.
which was a belting match, actually. A lot of big breaks in that this season. Down, of course, to one table. So the arena's been reconfigured with audience around three sides.
$28. $29.
Those little shots are a bit easier. We have a new bedcloth put on overnight before the semi-finals, as usual. So you're able to impart the spin, and it stays on the cue ball for a wee bit longer, so that helps.
37.
Seems to be starting well, though, doesn't he, Ronnie O'Sullivan? First round, first frame made 82. Second round, first frame made 86. Last 16, first frame, 141. Last night, first frame, 136. So that suggests that he's well prepared
44.
coming into these matches, and as I say, focused on just the job in hand.
$45. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 50.
Yeah, that was a surprise. I do think there was a bit of indecision on that shot. We saw him deliberating. He could have played a little brush sort of nestle cannon on another red and decided against it, I think, quite late on. So, a decent opening. This would be the ideal start if Liang were to pinch this opening frame.
Yeah, I mean, it's only frame one, but it already actually feels important because I mentioned all those breaks O'Sullivan has made in the early stages of matches, which in the main he's then gone on to dominate. This is an unexpected opening for Liang. He needs to show O'Sullivan he's up for the fight tonight, and that he can put frames away in one visit as well.
Yeah, I think that was the one area that was a concern for Graham Dott this afternoon. He's not been scoring as heavily as he has in the past, obviously, and in the end I think that was the telling factor, that he couldn't quite get back on terms against Fan. So as you say, tonight a similar thing. Liang's got to score heavily, but he has been, so he'll come in with confidence. Now this is a big shot. Oh, played it lovely. So all the reds are now absolutely perfectly placed. And as we know, that it'd be worth keeping an eye on, like here, watch his body movement. Liang, see, there's a little, that's been a feature of his play the last probably 3-4 years, been Don't like saying the word snatchy, but there's been a bit of movement. Keep an eye on that.
He's one win, by the way, over O'Sullivan. It was back in 2013 in China, the International Championship. He had a great chance to beat him at the Masters 5 years ago. He was 5-4 at Mr. Black. And O'Sullivan not only beat him, but went on to win the tournament.
Yeah, played that quite nicely, actually. Played for a choice of a couple of reds, so with this simple pink to follow, you would think
40.
Chances don't come much better. Oh, that was a bit twitchy. Do you see the movement there? I mean, it's a really straightforward shot, that, but for whatever reason, the movement, and it looks like it caused them to pot it thin, hence the cue ball travelled another 12, 14 inches. This is far from easy. Oh, fabulous recovery, very good, and played with total confidence, leaving the cue ball in the middle of the table. He'll have known that.
It's a good sign that he recovered the situation, so he's going to need this blue and then yellow, green and brown. But I always think when any event goes down to one table, of course some of them start that way, but when you're one table, you can just feel that extra amount of pressure. It's just the two of you with a big prize at stake. And that's something that both players will have to manage tonight. But of course, O'Sullivan has far more experience of these semi-finals. But he's wondering, has the first frame gone? He was in, he missed a red on 50.
65.
And Liang needs this brown to leave him requiring a snooker.
Yeah, very good. 69. They were there, but you've still got to take them. And he would have known when he got his chance, and a surprising chance at that, he would have known, right, okay, I've got to show that I'm up for the fight, as David said.
74.
Just a slight wobble, but he recovered for the pot on the last red. And he's showing O'Sullivan what sort of form he's in, what sort of mood he's in. Got to get Ronnie O'Sullivan under pressure, otherwise he goes off into the distance. He was looking to do that in frame one, broke down on 50. Liang stepped in with 74. The second semi-final off and running. Liang Wenbo leading 1-0. Remember, 6 required to face Fan Zhengzhi in the final. Welcome back to Milton Keynes. Very interesting start to the semi-final. Ronnie O'Sullivan broke down on 50. Liang Wenbo stepped in, made 74 to lead 1-0. It's first to 6. Fang Zhengji is waiting in the final. Another young Chinese talent who's broken through. Of course, Liang Wenbo here is a ranking event winner. He won the very first Home Nations event staged back in 2016, the English Open in Manchester. He was celebrating before the winning balls had gone in. Thankfully, they did go in. It was a terrific win over Judd Trump. Very memorable way he clinched it. And a popular win as well. I think audiences definitely take to him because he does show emotion and maybe gets a bit overexcited at times, but at least he gets excited, I guess.
Yes, I think coming out tonight, if you'd asked Liang which way, if you do win the first frame, which way would you like to win it, probably would be something along the lines of how it did go. You know, 100 breaks and all that, but to see Ronnie falter and then you pick up the pieces and punish him. The perfect start and something to build on. Ah, super shot.
Well, this black kind of struggled in.
8. Nine.
Yeah, since that win in 2016, his career has sort of fluctuated quite wildly. Been up and down a little bit. 35 in the world coming in. He was in the shootout semi-final recently, and he should have been in the final, really. He got an extraordinary miscue in that semi-final against Hussein Vafai, just trying to pot a black, which cost him the match and a place in the final.
Rumble.
But it just shows that he's been playing pretty good stuff of late. Qualify for Turkey and the Welsh Open next week, so he's got 2 more weeks to look forward to after this.
30.
Yeah, these are the kind of chances where I'm not exactly going out on a limb and saying that obviously Ronnie is far superior creatively in the break building stakes. This is that kind of chance, isn't it? When, all right, you've got a few loose ones, but then eventually you've got to get into the pack. And because of the standard these days, you've got to find a way. Not always, but in general. So it just remains to be seen. He's got options here of a low black or back up for blue and into the reds. Looks like the blue. I think it's a good option, this. If you don't get high enough, you've got one more red to work off, like that. The pot's no problem, it's all about the cue ball. He gestured there, he's looking for a low black, so just stun follow through about 8 inches.
26.
A fraction too far, see it. So easy to lose the cue ball with that one. Can still get a cannon, but not a heavy cannon on them, so it's not going to be easy to get a lot of reds moving. But all in all, he made a fantastic job of it. And he is a guy who can go in these scoring streaks, isn't he? Not all, you know, not all players on the tour can do that. Liang's definitely one of them. He can string together 80s, 90s, 100s, one after the other. No problem when he's in the mood.
Yeah, in his first match this week, he had breaks of 140, 120 against Dwayne Jones. There was a match going back a bit now, 2008, a best of 9, where he had 4 centuries, including a maximum in a qualifier.
Yeah, I remember that well, actually. I'm pretty sure I was in the building. It was at Prestatyn against Martin Gould, was it, I think?
Yeah.
From memory.
And also, of course, 4 years ago in the World Qualifying, he nearly had 2 maximums in the same match. He made one, 2 frames later, missed the last black on 140.
Yeah, that Martin Gould match, I'm pretty sure he had obviously the maximum. He had 2 other breaks of 140 plus. That match, it was something else. Now, half ball yellow option to disturb the reds. I think the brown's a wee bit straight. Big target. A bit twitchy, a bit of movement, so roll reversal, possibly.
Couldn't have gone worse, could it? Missing the yellow, getting the perfect split, and handing the initiative to Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Quite vital here, although the reds are open, it's vital he gets rid of this next red, the 1-9, which is no problem now. The one that's stopping the black being onto both pockets. Get shot of that right here and now, and it's a brilliant chance. He's such a good break builder, O'Sullivan. He actually a lot of times prefers to play little cannons on reds. That time obviously just playing into a little gap, but these guys are that good that sometimes the best way for them to drop the cue ball exactly where they want is a cannon. And he can basically do whatever he likes here as long as he keeps good order of his cue ball. That's the first time he's not pretty much perfect. Should be able to just about hold for the pink. Almost a carbon copy of frame 1 the other way round.
The thing is, it was the perfect split he got as well. Just the yellow didn't go in. Yeah, he was going nicely, but this is the shot that's turned the frame. Position that he left him in, it just felt like throwing red meat at a hungry lion. There was only going to be one outcome.
$60. $63.
So the green, and Leon needs a snooker.
66.
Yeah, there was an air of inevitability about it, as David said.
70.
I suppose I'm going to ask the question. I'm probably sitting with the correct person, and David, would Ronnie's highest ranked opponent in this tournament, which would be Tom Ford, he was 75. Ranked 25 at the start of the week, or 26 possibly, would that be a record for someone winning a ranking event? If he wins it, still a long way to go.
I'll have to delve into the record books, Alan, to check. But yeah, it's been a week where he has avoided the big hitters, but he's playing some great stuff. He's not bothering with the black here. It's been a high standard so far, just one miss from each, and we're all square at one each. Well, it's been a high standard so far. We had a miss from O'Sullivan in the opening frame when he was 50-0 up. Liang cleared, and then Liang missing that yellow left the chance. O'Sullivan took it, so one each. O'Sullivan answering the call there, having seen the first frame stolen from him. It's a very vibrant circuit right now. We're going to Wales next week, Turkey the week after. 50 years ago today, Alex Higgins won the World Championship for the first time, February the 26th, 1972. It was played in a British Legion club in Birmingham. No TV. Audience sat on upturned beer crates, smoke in the air. He got £480, but the interest that he generated in the sport led to wider media interest, television interest. 10 years later, he won his second world title at the Crucible. He got £25,000. It was live on television, and the circuit, of course, has grown in the decades since. So that was a very significant day. Of course, sadly, Alex no longer with us, but my word, he left his mark on the sport.
Yeah, he certainly did. I was lucky enough to play him in the World Championship 20 years ago this year. Done so much to get us where we are right now, and where we are right now in this match. Very interesting. What a shot by Liang. That's as good as it gets. One of those occasions perhaps where you almost play too good a break off and force the other player's hand. No return to baulk, so he had to press, and what an opener.
It's early days, but it's been very high standard thus far. There's the pot success.
No.
Sorry, a second ago I said 20 years. I think it was 30 years. Gee.
So you stopped him winning it after another 10 years then?
Yeah,
92.
the 10-year cycle, yeah. Yeah, where did the years go? Blimey.
Yeah, I think it's a nice touch of the home nations. We have the trophies named after
60.
the legends from each nation, obviously in Higgins' case, Northern Ireland. Liang won the Steve Davis Trophy.
70.
Next week it's the Ray Reardon Trophy in Wales and Stephen Hendry in Scotland.
$22. 20.
That's quite a weak shot, got to be honest. I mean, he potted it in the wrong half of the pocket as well. He potted it thick, which took some of the pace out the cue ball, but he didn't really go through it. He didn't deliver properly. So from what looked a promising situation, he's on the back foot again. Yeah, not as intended either. He wanted the other side of the blue, hence getting closer to red. I put the mockers on him with this shot, but I think this is odds against the pot if he takes it on. Very tough shot, this.
Leon win ball. 27.
Just that shot going up for blue, wasn't it? Stopped him in his tracks. That's where your cue ball control is of the utmost importance.
Problem he's got is the standard he produced for a frame and a half is the standard he'll have to produce all night. And just the odd slack shot here and there will be costly, you suspect, against O'Sullivan, who's in such good form. There's no reason to suspect that O'Sullivan's form will collapse tonight. So for Liang to win, he will have to play to a high level, clearly. And his last safety shot wasn't good.
Yeah, Rob Spencer will have had a look there just to see if he can see a red full ball. Doesn't make any difference now. Good escape. Wasn't all that difficult, but good pace. And a bonus. Ronnie just looking whether he's possibly going to leave a shot to nothing for Liang. It's whether he wants to play a cannon on the brown. Already picked his spot. Yeah, he wants left half of it as we see it to get some green ball cover. It's clever, that, isn't it? You know, using green and blue.
Yeah, you can see the concern as the crowd try and gee O'Sullivan up for this red.
One. Six. Seven.
See, there's a small difference between, I think, the two players there. Ronnie was really smooth and delivered through that. He knew he had to be top side of the blue, and this could be the payoff. Yes, it's going to be. And that's the small, minute details in this sport where
12.
it's making sure you're high on the blue. And because Liang's a wee bit jabby through it, he's failed 2 or 3 times already tonight. You don't have to do much wrong at this level, especially against this guy, and he takes full advantage. He's played well though so far as Liang. Plenty to be enthused about.
Yeah, I think in his favour, Liang. He's not in awe of O'Sullivan as a person. They're good friends, you know. He's not sort of, oh, it's Ronnie O'Sullivan. They're good pals. But the problem is how he plays. That's what he's concerned about. And the head-to-head speaks for itself. 9-1. He's had very little success against him.
$28. 29. $36.
And I think sometimes, because of the talent he possesses, we don't think of him as ultra smart and ultra clever. I think Ronnie plays a different game now, a different brand of snooker than he has done down the years. I think he realises that, not gone, but the days are fewer and further between now where he just goes in and blitzes people with long red 100, that sort of snooker. That doesn't tend to happen. So what I've seen of him lately, it looks to me like he's been a little more cautious and working his openings. And as a consequence of that, I think mentally he's a wee bit more careful when he gets in around pink and black. His cue ball so far has been top class, as usual.
50.
So, quick scoreboard check. 24, black 31, so 2 more reds in addition. Again, the cue ball absolutely perfect to get the pink back on its own spot if he wishes. Yeah, that was the beauty of playing for 2 reds there, wasn't it? So, have to recycle the cue ball unexpectedly. Gone half wrong.
60.
The red is frame ball.
65.
Potted it as if it was no problem. Very high standard he's producing this evening, feeding on chances. He's really seems to be just needing one chance a frame. Same for Liang in frame one when his opening came. He's looked sharp tonight, Liang. He's attacked, but he did leave a red here to the left middle. That has stayed out, so 45 in it with 35 on. He's trying to do the maths. It's 3 snookers. He's seen enough. Well, it's good stuff, this. Entertaining snooker so far this evening, and the Ronnie O'Sullivan fans here in Milton Keynes happy to see their man hit the front in this semi-final. 6 needed for a place in the final. He leads 2-1. Welcome back. Ronnie O'Sullivan has made breaks of 81 and 72 in response to Liang's 74 in the opener. 2-1. This is the last frame before the mid-session interval. The winner plays Fang Zhengji of China, who's into his first ranking final after his 6-4 win over Graham Dott. Oh, too good. Too good.
Yeah, sparkling opening red. Liang potted a beautiful shot at the start of the last frame. Likewise, Ronnie. And he does. He looks in absolutely tip-top form, got to say. And yeah, there you go. Nah. Never fails, does it? It never fails. 0.
Well, you were right. He does look in tip-top form, but that's the thing with this game. You know, things can just happen unexpectedly, and this is what Liang has to hold on to. Could have been away there again, O'Sullivan. As it is, it's his chance here.
Well.
Yeah, and it's why I suppose you've always got to try and stay switched on as much as you can when, even though it looks like the other guy's off and running on Liang. Oh, it's catching. Again, a bit of movement there. A good chance gone a begging. Said earlier about creativity in this sort of in the open. Now is the time, and he's played it to perfection.
60.
It's not just that he's brilliant at playing the shots, he's brilliant at knowing when to play them. That's the other thing. He gets a sense of, yeah, I've got one more red to pick off and find an angle, but I've got it here and now. Let's roll with it.
Yeah, never looked in that.
24.
So 2 unexpected errors in this frame. The yellow first, see now this red.
Yeah, clearly worried about leaving that red, and if he chooses to peel off into bulk, so he's just going to almost invite Liang to move that red. It's almost like getting Liang to solve a problem for him. And he duly obliges. So now Ronnie can pick his spot in bulk, and that red's going to be tighter or covered.
It's an interesting frame now because he's missed twice. Second time he didn't leave an opening. Liang's early confidence, you know, maybe slightly slipped, but he's got an opportunity if he does get back in to level up. Well, got very, very close to it, and that's why it stayed near to the pocket. Big shot this, would have been on the black. Well, he couldn't believe it hadn't gone in, but even still in his seat.
Well,
That'll do nicely. Holds his hand up, got a little bit fortunate.
Yeah, but going back a few shots, that's the patterns that you, as a young player, try to learn from those. You know, as I said, Ronnie quite deliberately invited Liang to move the red, that then he could find better cover on it. So sometimes it's what you don't do that can matter. He played basically what we call a nothing shot initially, and then was able to put Liang in some trouble. Doesn't always work, but it will over a period of time if you keep doing it.
no.
It's a clever shot. So he's playing for pink and black there, not the black. More good thinking. Again, another small detail in this game that you can't let slip you know, pass you by. You've got to be aware of all these little things. Pink goes out of harm's way, and it's now a nice target from top side of blue if he wishes.
50. $60.
Yeah, for Ronnie, that's quite a blunder. So change of plan, mid-distance red.
20.
I mean, in theory, that was a big shot because, you know, he hadn't got right side of the blue, left himself, in theory, a more difficult one, but he just thumped it in as he goes into them. The incredible thing, I think, is just the fact that he's still doing it 30 years on. If he was like a 22-year-old doing this, you'd think, fantastic, a new talent. He's 47 this year and still just playing this incredible snooker.
Hey, you'd think at some stage you might get a bit cheesed off with all the time, but not as you say, not a bit of it. I suppose the other side of that coin is that when you do it that well, something that well, better than anyone who's ever lived, I suppose you want to enjoy it as long as you can. So, black no problem, already past the stage of Liang needing fouls. And it's been very good all round by Ronnie, with the mid-session coming up.
43.
Yeah, the couple of mistakes that he made weren't costly in the end. Liang started that terrific clearance, was in front, of course, in frame 2, missed the yellow. That was a big shot, opening the pack. And since then, it's been not quite one-way traffic, but certainly O'Sullivan's been on top.
50. 52. 59. 60.
Didn't sound the best contact, that, but the frame is well and truly won. It's not taken long, just under an hour to get to the interval. And it's Ronnie O'Sullivan on top in this semi-final. A solid 60 after Liang Wenbo missed that long red. So halfway towards a meeting with young Fan Zhengji in the European Masters final here in Milton Keynes on Sunday. As they head off for the 15-minute interval, Ronnie O'Sullivan leads Liang Wenbo 3-1. So it's 3-1 to Ronnie O'Sullivan here in the second semi-final of the Bet Victor European Masters. Liang Wenbo won the first frame, so had no success since. 6 frames needed. Fan Zhengji, a first-time finalist, is waiting in Sunday's big title match.
Yeah, he's given a good account of himself, all told, I would say, Liang. Just 1 or 2 elementary mistakes, not an awful lot, but Ronnie's made good on those mistakes, and that's why Liang's under pressure right now, 3-1 behind. And just trying to find a way to hang on to the coattails of Ronnie.
The thing is, the pressure is on him to find quite an early response here. As I say, these couple of frames, needs to get something out of them if he's going to threaten the recovery. Someone in his eye line, I think. Something putting him off.
You sit down.
Well, despite all of that, he's spotted a terrific red.
Yeah, that's a fabulous shot to find. Straight after the interval, just something still disturbing him, so at least he finds it a little amusing. Back and tuned in though.
Yeah, he's still sort of looking over. I'm not quite sure what's happening over there, but he's still dividing his attention. That didn't quite come off as he would have hoped, that last shot.
Ryan Sullivan.
He just seems, though, just in a sort of good place mentally, doesn't he? You know, as you say, he smiled at that. He didn't get all irate. And there, when he didn't get on the red, he just accepted it and looked for, OK, not leaving anything on, putting Liang under pressure. So if you're an O'Sullivan supporter, and of course there are many watching, I think that's a good sign. Before now, we've seen him throw photographers out before they've taken a picture at tournaments, actually. If they haven't got a tripod and all the rules and regs aren't right, they're out. Yeah, and it's worked already. Got another opening here. Liang, this is not the start that he wanted after the resumption. Good grief. That had a few doubts, didn't it, before going in? Sort of skirted round the lip of the pocket.
Six. Seven.
Yeah, two shots, two little shots that didn't look like much, but he's brought every red into the open.
13. No, the security lad's gone to speak to him. The security lad's gone to tell me that.
Still someone putting him off. He's just had a word with the referee, and someone from security apparently is going to sort it, whatever it is.
14. $20. $22. $29.
Yeah, the arena completely different now, isn't it? Now the outside tables have gone. Good atmosphere in this evening as well. Obviously, this tournament initially was supposed to be played in Germany. Because of COVID rules, it was moved here. And OK, audiences haven't been huge all week, but I'm sure tomorrow there'll be plenty here.
And he's in close tonight. He's been absolutely exceptional. Little soft cannon again. 2 or 3 reds waiting. And already, almost in the blink of an eye, 61 to the good.
54.
Yeah, Fan Zhengji is the world number 80.
61.
He recently reached his first quarter-final at the German Masters. Last year, Jordan Brown was the world number 81. He reached his first quarter-final at the German Masters. And then a few weeks later, what did he do? He beat this man in the final of the Welsh Open. So that's why, as Alan says, he's not in the final yet, but if he gets there, he won't be taking Fan for granted. He knows upsets can happen. But this is some standard he's producing. He's just very reliable in this sort of situation at just killing frames off.
$77. 78. 84. 85.
I actually think it's difficult to distinguish when Ronnie's playing near his best because, you know, in general, his performances over the last few years have been something along these lines more often than not. He just plays to such a high standard. His cue ball means that he's knocking these breaks in and it looks so easy. Of course, it's not. But he's got the cue ball under such close order that he never seems to be able to have to play too many difficult recovery shots.
So his 8th century of the tournament to take full control now of this semi-final. Liang had to make a good start, you felt, after the interval, and he didn't. He actually looked quite shaky, and Ronnie O'Sullivan has taken advantage. And if this frame was big, then the next one is huge, because if it goes 5-1, then surely that's it.
$109. $140. $120.
Just pinpoint stuff, isn't it? Just another magnificent clearance from Ronnie O'Sullivan. 127, 8th century of the tournament from him. And he's beginning to coast now in this semi-final. He was put off early on. It didn't make any difference, though, because he's won the frame. He's 2 from victory, leading 4-1. So let's get on with frame 6. A big frame with O'Sullivan leading 4-1.
Liang Wenbo to break. Not while the player's at the table, please.
Oh, God.
That's enough now, please.
Well, there was a little bit of calling out there, and it kind of went on too long. You know, Sullivan, the danger here is he's just going to allow these little things to affect him. Wasn't impressed with something that was going on in the last frame, and he wasn't impressed there either. But then he knocks that in.
Yes, and when that area of his game is in tip-top condition, which it has been generally tonight, look out, everyone. Needs a little brush off the red here. It just got it, yeah.
5.
Not perfect, but as we know, he's very good at getting his cue ball
6.
back in the position. Just needs to run, and it has.
$11. $12.
For once tonight, then he goes into the reds and doesn't land on anything easy. This is a big shot, the way these reds are. Brushed aside with the minimum of fuss. Beautifully cued. He might still be on the red, but this is very awkward. Right over the apex of the offending red. But like everything else tonight, pretty much he's handled it with no problem whatsoever.
Well, he seemed to be getting a bit annoyed at the start of this frame of various things, but then he just knocked in a wonderful red. And now he's fully focused again on the table, which is kind of at his mercy. So Liang, I mean, I said he was looking to hit back after the interval. In fact, he's yet to pot a ball as soon as they came back out.
Now, even that is a fabulous shot.
44.
Using the contours of the table almost there, just the top side of the middle pocket.
45.
Slide the cue ball down and back in prime scoring territory once again. And at the moment he's making this look ridiculously easy.
52. 50.
Yeah, and even when it goes wrong, it goes right. Yeah, misjudged cannon.
59.
So as you see, this red
64.
for 5-1. Well, it's clinical stuff. Right from the first shot of the break, he knocked in the long red. And is surely now unstoppable in this match.
$71. 72.
It looks like the last line of defence against Ronnie O'Sullivan will be Yunfang Zhengji tomorrow.
77. 78.
Yeah, this has been a masterclass, simple as that. And there's absolutely nothing that Liang can do about this, I'm afraid. He's not the first, he won't be the last to face a barrage of scoring and
84.
Exemplary cue ball, as I've said a few times tonight. Can he find a nice positional shot through the gap of red and pink now?
$89.
You can see the look of sort of wonder on some of the faces there, watching this, watching it close up.
95.
Looking like back-to-back century breaks then.
97. 100. 104. 109.
Break ends at 109. It follows the 127 in the previous frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan heading for the final. He needs just one more frame. Liang Wenbo almost applauding in his chair. He can't quite believe what's happening. He trails 5-1. Well, we're witnessing a masterclass tonight. Ronnie O'Sullivan, having lost the opening frame, has made breaks of 81, 72, 60, 127, 109. He leads 5-1. He needs one more frame to reach the European Masters final. These are the key stats. 96% pot success, so that's very, very good. You saw Liang after that last frame just sort of, well, just wondering what's hit him.
Yes, he sat in between frames there, didn't he, Liang? And I was kind of looking to the sky, looking at the heavens and thinking, what have I got to do? He's not even, I mean, just been a bystander the last 3 frames. And since the interval, hasn't been able to trouble the scorers. What can you do? That's the question. I mean, even Ronnie's safety has been first class tonight. Another example of it here. That's good defending. Well played.
Well, the safety is rated at 100% on our stats.
Don't think I've ever seen that before. Certainly not after 6 frames of a match. I suppose you can pick holes in these stats. I suppose it, you know, the way they're put together, but 100% tells the story.
Yeah, I always think as well, and it's all interesting stuff, of course, but with Ronnie, the stats are almost irrelevant because you know it's good by watching it. It is kind of different to anyone else, the way he does it. And that's why it's, you know, such a big crowd here, because they love watching it. Well, he may not have left him in, but that's a result for Liang, just the fact he hasn't potted it.
Yeah, no wonder Liang's trying to crack a couple of jokes out there, and maybe the fact that Ronnie's not left anything, but he has this way of Sullivan. He can make you feel inferior more than any other player in the game. There's so many out there that can completely dominate you, the Higginses and the Robertsons and all these guys, but in terms of making you feel almost not even part of the show, part of the match. Ronnie's got that gift just because of simply the way he does it. Oh, you know, he impresses you when you're watching him. And so when your time comes at the table, you think, right, okay, I've got to show something along those lines, but it's so difficult to find it. Constantly under pressure, as Liang is right now, obviously. And he's doing well here to just hang tough in the early stage of this frame. But he's not able to get Ronnie in any sort of difficult position. That shot that Ronnie's just played, you'd be surprised on the practice table how often he plays that shot. He puts it up. We sat, didn't we, a few weeks ago, and we watched him practicing on one of the monitors in the green room, and he played that for about, I don't know, at least half an hour. Again, people would be surprised how much he does it. It's finding that sort of muscle memory and repetition and being able to pick your spot in bulk. And he's picked another one.
It's like every time he comes to the table, it's like looking over the edge of a cliff. And he's edging closer and closer to the edge of that cliff. It's just trouble. And he's at that stage, of course, where just one error could be the end for him. He's looking for the thin edge, didn't quite get an edge. He's playing it again.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, come.
Yeah, Rob Spencer, one of the very best referees we have, and got that back almost immediately correctly. Now he's got to hit one. If he doesn't, it's match over. You can see a red full, so the warning will come from the referee.
Just really right this first, okay. Got the right position. Yeah, wrong after that. No, wait a second. If you fail to hit a red this time, I will award the frame to your opponent. Okay.
It's almost like he was trying to play it before the warning came, but the warning's come. And you see that so often in that situation. You're forced into taking a pot on, and he's knocked it in. So that's got him out of trouble at least. This is why people like Liang Wenbo, because you know he gives you something, he gives you that reaction, makes it a more sort of human affair.
One. Then one ball one.
Well, the misery's raining down. That cue ball kept running, and it's running behind the brown.
Yeah, it gives you a chance to actually just tell you that the World Snooker Federation Championship final is on right now, actually, up in Sheffield, between Lee Stevens of England and Si Jiawei of China. Traditionally known as the World Amateur Championship. It's changed names, but the winner of that match tonight gets a 2-year tour card. Currently 3-0 at the moment to Si Jiawei. We wish them both well.
Foul, and a miss. Rony O'Sullivan 4. One more. Go.
Yes, as ever, it's not difficult to hit a red in this position. It's getting it safe.
Foul, and a miss. Rony O'Sullivan 4.
The only thing, the way he's playing it, it's like he's playing 3 cushions. I would rather play 4 and use this end cushion, and then go towards that group of 3 or 4 reds.
Okay.
I think that would be a better way to play it. He seems to be playing at 3. Now he's going to get a red here, you would think, with that pace.
It's been a constant, though, all week, right from the first match against Nigel Bond. Rony O'Sullivan has treated his opponents with every respect, not taking any liberties. And that's bad news for them, of course. He's just determined to get the win. And he's been patient in crafting chances to do that.
shaping up for the long red then, so he can clearly get through. He's reached that stage, hasn't he, where if he gets any sort of half chance, he's just got to try and make something happen. Yeah, good pot. It's one of those you'd love to entertain taking on the pink, but I think under the circumstances, way too difficult.
Blue ball.
Just about get through to the blue then, so in and out a ball, cut to middle. Oh, well played. And fantastic positional shot as well.
6.
Yeah, he's a real shot maker, isn't he? Always has been, as Wenbo. Just hasn't been able to get carve open the opportunities tonight.
Seven. Leon win ball 7.
I just feel after the way he's been battered and bruised, he needed something easier than that. Fair play to Liang Wenbo. He's gone for his shots, but that visit ultimately didn't come to much. I guess the fear is, from what we've seen tonight, you know, it's beginning of the end. We'll see O'Sullivan in, looking for the kill.
Nine.
Yeah, and I don't know whether Fan Zhengyi is watching any of this match tonight, but if he was under any illusion of how difficult the task is going to be tomorrow, if he's watching this, he'll be under illusion no more, because this has been
17.
almost as good as it gets. Apart from frame 1, where he made a mistake and Liang got in, and then that yellow was a key shot in frame 2. Since then, it's been a one-man show.
20. 25. 32. 30. 40. 40.
That's an incredible shot. To play on a choice of brown or yellow half ball to get a piece of the bunch is genius. Just missed the pink on the top side of it. Little flick on the reds. I got a little bit too much power, so for once it's gone astray. End of break, you would think. But 51 points to the good, almost there. Maybe has this red into right middle. Not this time.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 43.
No, and he has left the same red. It always looked high, that. 51 in it, as you see, still in the font.
Well,
Yeah, and credit to him, Liang here. He's not given up the ghost just yet, and that's a lesson. Always keep fighting to the end.
Well, that's the opposite of what happened in frame 2. In that frame, he missed the yellow, got the split. In this frame, he pots the yellow, doesn't get the split. I suppose this is the lesser of two evils in a way. At least he hasn't left a lot on. But it's disappointing.
they went both through.
Didn't play that great either. But as I say, he's been hit with everything this evening. So 48 in it, 67 on. It's a brilliant pot. It was a mistake from Liang to let him see it. Cue ball just kept running though.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, what?
Well, this is what's known as trouble. 5-1 down, 49 points down. Snookered. Red's all in potable positions. O'Sullivan just needing one more chance to win the match.
Yeah, this one's a proper head scratcher, isn't it? Blocked off the right half. The standard way would be to try and get close to the red that's near the cushion. But even that's not easy. I think it is on 3 cushions. It's round the back of the green. Yeah, it's definitely on. I think that's the shot he will play in the end, you would imagine.
He'd like to phone a friend. His good pal is sat in the chair. He's the one who's put him in trouble. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Foul. And the miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan 4.
O'Sullivan needs 1 red. And Liang will need snookers. But it's not there. Or is it? Or is it? So, not over yet this frame. 53, the difference, 59 on.
Interesting there that Ronnie didn't take the miss, isn't it? It's almost like he doesn't want to win that way. Wants to sort of win what he considers in a proper manner. Either way, Liang still alive in this match, only just though. And that's no good at all. Needs a colour or he's going to need fouls.
Yeah, that's gone about as bad as it could, really. So needs something in. Must pop the pink, otherwise he needs a snooker. And it's going in.
Seven.
Yeah, well, all of a sudden, if he can make this next red down the cushion, the clearance is, well, it's on. Wee bit surprised he didn't play on that red because he had the perfect angle to do so. The sort of angles he got now on the blue.
16.
Not bad at all. But it's not going to be easy to drop right in behind it. He can't just drop it plain ball. He's got to use this end cushion. Not easy to get perfect on it. And all in all, that's pretty good. The good news, not a lot to do with the cue ball, with black waiting.
Yeah, he was just checking what colour he needs here.
26.
But as you say, black waiting so well. He cleared up first frame, didn't he? This seems more unlikely in a way, though, after what's happened since then. He's been hit with everything. O'Sullivan had a go at match ball red, didn't get it. Can Liang take us to another frame? Well, he's going to do it the interesting way, it would seem. That black only just struggled in, didn't it?
29.
Oof. That would have been the end then, you feel, had that stayed out. Complication, of course, where the green is, so having to travel.
$31.
Yeah, he's taken these beautifully. And shouldn't be a problem with this cannon. The pink should go on and off the side cushion. Might even be able to screw past it without sending it too far.
34.
Well, I would have rather he punched that. Get the pink on and off the cushion. So another very difficult shot in this brown to keep the clearance going. But as I said before, credit to him for digging his heels in. And this time he's got a beautiful angle to, well, whichever way he wants to play it, possibly disturb it. I don't think that would be the way. So this is a big shot. Should get nice and close to it. Anything around straight would be ideal. Very good.
Some effort this from Liang Wenbo. He kept his head up despite everything. 2 balls to take us to frame 8. When O'Sullivan looked a certainty at one point to win frame a match.
Yeah, what a clearance. Every credit, Liang Wenbo. You just never know what's round the corner in this game.
Brilliant. What a clearance, as you say, from Liang Wenbo. He hadn't given up. His shoulders had not dropped. And he took the frame out superbly in the end. O'Sullivan not there yet. He leads 5-2. Well, it's been a terrific match, this, and it continues after that steely 56 clearance from Liang Wenbo. Every ball there felt like a pressure ball because, of course, he was so close to losing, but he's still here. 5-2. O'Sullivan still needs 1 for victory. Ronnie O'Sullivan had him in that tough snooker. Wasn't left an easy red, but he took the red on, which would have got him over the line, barring snookers. Missed it. Liang made that Herculean 56. The applause sort of started then and then almost stopped immediately when the crowd saw that he wasn't on a colour.
Yellow ball. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Yeah, Liang there trying to draw Ronnie in to play in this red near the corner. I don't think Liang will refuse it. As we know, these pockets are very tight. But he's still at that stage, obviously. He's not really in the match just yet. 5-2 behind. He's trying to stay alive as long as he can. Just play and see where it takes him. I'll certainly be feeling a lot more positive on the back of that clearance in the previous frame. Yeah, cracking shot. Yeah, I'm not going to say the tide's turning, it's far too early for that, but see, you just never know in this game now. A little soft cannon. Yeah, well played.
The thing is, it's been 90% O'Sullivan brilliance. It's not been mistake after mistake from Liang. You know, a couple of frames he just sat out. So this is his chance to shine. He's already made the good clearance to extend the match. Can he make it even closer?
No. Forty. 50.
No, he's not on one, I don't think, and you can see the disappointment on his face because they split nicely, just didn't land on one. They were all there. If he just got on one, the whole frame was at his mercy.
Leon won both swings.
Well, you got to say, whoever gets in next should have a good chance to win the frame with all the reds now out in the open. So this safety battle is going to be pivotal.
Yes, he doesn't have Ronnie on the run, but he certainly got him thinking. Oh, wow. Wow. Cruel.
Yeah, I mean, that does seem very harsh on Liang.
Yeah, that was cruel. If this blue goes in, it would rub salt in the wound. Yeah, no problem. So it's not a nice way to set up a match-winning chance, and it's not really the way Ronnie wants to do it either, in all honesty. But you just got to take what you get sometimes. That's unfortunate. Feel for Liang there. For the first time in the match, he felt like he was bossing it.
Well, it's twofold, isn't it? He didn't get, well, he got a good split, he just didn't get on a red. He played a perfectly good safety. And then he watches O'Sullivan fluke one with the reds all spread far and wide. So this is his chance to kill it off and put himself in the final.
Nice.
Yeah, and as far as concentration goes, where he's been excellent tonight, Ronnie, he'll be
20.
doubling his efforts with this visit. I think in some way he invited
28.
the trouble on his own when not putting Liang back, when he got the option of the miss at the tail end of that last frame. But there's not going to be any mercy shown from here on in, you wouldn't think. Well set now, 16 to the good. Plenty reds in the open.
36.
Yeah, and he'll be in that same position he was in a year ago against Jordan Brown, going into a final as a huge favourite, but still needing to win the 9 frames for the title. And on that occasion he didn't. Jordan played really well. It's a kind of David v Goliath battle, isn't it, with Fan Zhengji, if O'Sullivan does close this out. Fascinating lineup. Got to put this to bed first. Yeah, and he hasn't. So he had chances in the last frame. He's had a chance here. Started with the fluke, but that red not in. Now then, if Liang can get a nice angle on black or pink, every chance of just promoting that red near the right centre. And if he was to do that, all of a sudden another clearance might be in the offing here.
9.
What sort of angles he got in the black? Needs to pull up, but just about has. Definitely value in it. I mean, the in-off's not on. The red being that close to the middle, so he will be playing it. Be unlucky not to be on the other red.
Sixteen. Seventeen.
Yeah, tried to shift the red off a red. The one thing we can say, he's not going to be shifting it with this shot. But back in it.
I
mean, Liang will know better. I don't know whether I don't think the double's on. Might be. The red's so close to the cushion. Yeah, sensibly just looking for pink ball cover.
Well, that might just complicate things a bit. The yellow down safe towards the left-hand side cushion. They're both going to need it, of course. It's a loud sound. I don't know whether you felt that was not a good contact, but anyway, this frame well and truly in the balance. As I say, the yellow slightly complicated things as well. Thing is, even at 5-1, Liang was still playing as if he thought he could win. He wasn't just swinging his cue at shots.
Yeah, now how straight is the red? If it's straight, I don't think there's any value in playing the pot. Just got a little of angle on it, so building himself up. It's one of those he might, well, he's digging deep, so just thinking if he was to pot it with topspin plain ball, there's an outside chance of disturbing the yellow. The reason I would think of that is because if you miss the pot, you probably don't get the cannon, which wouldn't be a bad thing. Let's see what he plays then. Going top spin now. Yeah, great effort. As I say, I think there was value in it, so good shot selection, I think.
Just shows you how matches can change. This was a procession, wasn't it? 5-1. It looked like 6-1 was guaranteed, but now it's become rather tense. So the green's also now gone on a cushion.
Yeah, there's a lot of mileage left in this frame now. As David said, half chance for Ronnie. It's a handy 7-point lead, I suppose. Might be important further down the line. Yeah, as the table is, it's very difficult to play what you'd consider a telling safety, because you know, if you get the guy in trouble, you sort of assume that he's not going to get the yellow anyway. I wonder if he might lift the green here. Probably not. But as I say, difficult to get a telling safety in, because it's not going to be your last mistake if you make one on the back of it.
And he played it so quickly, but he's played it expertly at the same time.
Yeah, superbly held with the cue ball. I think if Liang were to miss it this time and a miss declared, I think Rony might be putting it back. He didn't do that in the last frame. Every chance of a free ball, of course, should he not make contact, but playing it to avoid that. 6 points makes something of a difference. Yeah, back this time.
I guess the difference was in the last frame he did have a pot. It wasn't easy by any means, but it was to win. But now this is going back. Pink obviously has got to go back as well. Rob Spencer getting some help from Andy Yates, the marker. There he is.
Yeah, okay.
It's never going to be 100% because, frankly, the technology isn't good enough for it to be that, but they're working hard together to make it as good as they can.
Thanks, Anna.
So, 13 in it now. Yeah, made the adjustment. That'll do for Liang Wenbo. It's like a sort of match within a match at the moment.
Yeah, and I just wonder, Ronnie played that shot earlier. Can Liang avoid the double kiss? He should be able to. Kill that cue ball in behind yellow. Good shot. Yeah. Well, I suppose the only good news, if there is any, that Ronnie obviously still needs green. So, yeah, it was a good shot, just plain old bad luck with the red disappearing.
Quite now, please.
Well, funny old game in it. You know, obviously O'Sullivan got the fluke earlier. That's the fluke you don't want that Liang's just got. Otherwise, he would have had a nice snooker.
I actually do think there's value in bringing the black out here. You know, at some stage he might need it. And, you know, the way the frame is right now, you wouldn't think either player's going to win this in one hit.
Leon won ball one.
We'll see if that makes a difference, but I think there was a bit of value in that. Ronnie probably going cushion first. Well, he's done Liang's job for him in a way. I say it might not matter in the end, but you never know.
Well, it seems the luck has turned finally. It's extraordinary how that has ended up there. Caught it so thin. It's one of those frames where just things are just happening. You can't really foresee. But these are enjoyable frames in their own way. You know, colours battle, only one on its spot, that'll tell you something. It's a scrap. Of course, if O'Sullivan wins the scrap, he wins the match. That's the difference between the two. Liang is still on the verge of an exit.
Don't try this at home, boys and girls. Put your shoulder out. Oh. Tap the table, Ronnie. Why not? I'm not even sure he had a foot in the floor when he made contact with the cue ball there. Yes, he just about did.
Well, I mentioned the Alex Higgins anniversary. Maybe that was a little tribute there. "31 minutes, things are happening." I mean, that black was nearly in, and of course the 7 points would have made a big difference actually, but it didn't drop. All these little nudges and bumps, it's all adding to the intrigue. The green is still, of course, a key ball.
Yeah, the frames are just kind of gone quiet, really, isn't it, because of that green. But as soon as someone does pot the yellow, then everything will seem far more important, and whoever gets the yellow, you would expect to, might be crucial, whoever can get first shot at the green. But has he covered it? I think he has, you know. Only good news, I think he obviously can he can just go dead weight cushion and not, shouldn't be leaving anything as long as he catches the left half of the green as we see it. So he's almost going 2 cushions here.
Foul.
Yeah, that's the idea. I'll get another shot at it.
Right, okay, right. We'll do it between us. More that way. Okay. Yeah? That one. Okay, wrong. Thank you.
Well, it's not quite right. I'm not quite sure why the screen wasn't working.
Yeah, this is no good because Liang couldn't go this way. No, that's no good at all. Yeah, I think the referee's got to be a wee bit stronger there and say, like, hold it, let's hold it and get it correct. Because there's no way that Liang could have gone that almost direct route first time round.
Well, what it means is the safe ball is now going to be in play. So this green is huge. 14 in it. Liang looking to pull one back. Sullivan looking to put himself in the final, finally.
Foul. In the mess. Rony Sullivan 4. Yeah, wrong. The other one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was worth the wait, that, because he's got Rony under a wee bit of pressure. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. That's the shot of the match, that right there. Doesn't get any better.
Liang couldn't wait to applaud it.
That's okay, fine.
Yeah, okay, then the green's a virtual certainty, but how does he get close to the brown?
Now, please.
That's the only question.
And they're the 2 balls he needs, green and brown.
3.
Yeah, supreme piece of cueing. So Brown, I think we can safely say, is match ball to see Ronnie through to tomorrow's big final.
It seems a long time since he made all those breaks, but they were glorious. 81, 72, 60, 127, 109. It became unexpectedly tight towards the end, and that missed blue maybe has given Liang a bit of interest here. 2 snookers needed. I guess by this stage you've got to play on, otherwise it's all over. So 2 snookers needed, otherwise it's O'Sullivan into the final.
Yeah, the one thing you've got to remember, don't foul and hit the black. And he could tie. That's not going to happen though, you wouldn't imagine. Good hit.
Well, he's knocked the blue in and he's conceded, and warm embrace between the 2 players. So it's Ronnie O'Sullivan who puts himself into the final of the European Masters. He's beaten Liang Wenbo 6-2. He's into ranking event final number 60 against Fang Zhengji, who's in ranking event final number 1.